All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. First and foremost, I would like to thank Vritti, Mr. Virendra, and Priyanka for having made this webinar arranged for you. And in the next about 45 odd minutes, I'm going to share with you a couple of thoughts I have on the topic juggling for certainty in the uncertain times. Fortunately, I was able to speak to a couple of other organizations from the IT and engineering organizations in the last couple of days. And generally, people have been giving a feedback that yes, this interaction has been useful. So let us try and look at what are a few things that we need to become aware of in terms of what does it mean to become certain in these uncertain times. And I've used this word juggling for the simple reason that we go through a lot of these sinusoidal processes through the day where we might have certain challenges, and we might also have a great high in the day, but immediately at the other part of the day you might suddenly start feeling very low. I am tempted to share with you this statement by Marie Curie. A few days back, Indra Nooyi ma'am, she shared this on LinkedIn, and it actually caught a lot of attention to me. Nothing in the mind is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. Let us sink in into this statement. Nothing in the mind is to be feared. It is only to be understood. And once we try understanding it, the intensity of fear actually goes to the lower degree. And now this is the time to understand more so that we may fear less, because yes, we are into a fearful state at the moment. So I'm sure each one of you must have heard these four words, VUCA, VUCA. VUCA. You have been hearing about this so many times that we are staying in a VUCA world. And for those of you for who these words are new, the jargon could be new, but you might be definitely understanding the spirit behind the jargon. VUCA means volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. These four words, some of you might have heard a couple of years back. People who are at the helm of the business, they might have heard it very frequently with different clients and different organizations कि भाई आजकल काफी चीजें अनसर्टन है, काफी चीजों में बदलाव बड़ा जोर से है, समझ में नहीं आता है कि इसका इम्पैक्ट दूसरे जगह पे क्या होगा, और ऐसे असमंजस परिस्थिति के अंदर में जो मन के अंदर में एम्बिग्विटी रहती है उसको कैसे हैंडल करें. These four words you must have heard frequently, and it will be very interesting for you to know that this word VUCA came into existence in 1987 when two gentlemen, Baron and Nannis, they used it for the first time. And if these two words came into existence in 1987, then think about the use of these words, what must have been happening when these words were used from the leadership development perspective since the last 30 odd years. 1987, I was doing my third year engineering. And since then, if these words are being used, just imagine, is VUCA really a new phenomena? No, it definitely is not a new phenomena. So it leads to me to the next question that I want to ask you. And that question is, what were the skills that were required the pre-COVID-19 time? If you just roll back about a month and a half, 2 months back, and you find out what are the things that you require differently a few months back, maybe a month back, the skill sets that your HR department that your directors required you to perform more of? What were the skills looking like? So some of the examples could be you needed to collaborate more, you needed to have a very strong achievement drive so that you can perform and you can achieve your targets and you can in fact surpass your targets. You required the ability to bounce back. You know, resilience was such an important area. You will definitely see a lot of failures happening, especially if you are a person in the sales arena. They say that 1 out of 10 call will actually give you a lead to move ahead on. So 9 times you have to actually fail before you get to the 10th one. And lastly, you need to have extremely high emotional sensitivity also towards people in the team, having a lot of empathy with each other. These are just few of the examples. You need to be more agile, more adaptable. You need to be always very nimble footed. A requirement from a client comes and you need to deliver it faster than ever. You need to ensure that people working wherever they are, they need to be connected with you. So all these skill sets that were required pre-COVID, are they not the same that you're going to require during and after the COVID? Has really anything changed? Yes. Only one thing has changed. The change is that you need to have these skill sets at an extremely urgent time frame now. The degree of urgency with which you require the skill sets to have, they have changed. And if we are to believe that they are changed in the sense of the urgency alone, but nothing else has changed, so let us try and look at it, that what are the few things you need to become more firefighting spirit now. You need to be connected to your team emotionally and technically also. You need to have an extremely fast adaptable, I mean, some of you have already done that by adapting to this work from home phenomena in the last few days alone. You've started having virtual meetings, you've started talking to your clients, to your different stakeholders from a distance. You already know that certain things are going to change. Not everything is going to be the same in the times to come in terms of your finances also. Maybe if the organization might be able to support you for some time, but for the organization to sustain, they also require some kind of a financial readjustment that will happen. It will have a direct impact on our personal finances also. All of us are aware about it. And we are trying to get adapted to it faster also, which means you already started rolling the ball. The only point to understand is how can I remain more than often in that state of mind, which will help me to deliver faster and more. I mean, working across different cultures, different kinds of people, diversity and inclusion is a big word in the IT industry nowadays. So everything practically is the same, but the sense of urgency has actually multiplied. Uh, Certain things have become mandatory for us. Like, for example, I'm just going to share the screen again with you. So there have been a few things that is different in the past few days. Our work from home phenomena has changed. The way we socialize now has become, we have got more of the house party and the Zoom applications, or the way in which you play with your family around has changed a little. You're talking to your friends over a WhatsApp call more of, that has changed. The way in which your leisure is going to be in the next few months is going to be different. You might not have holidays. You might not be going out a lot to have a leisure time, but you will create leisure time within your own societies, your smaller groups of family that you all stay together. You might have fun which is going to be different. It's not going to be the same old way, because let's say partying is not going to happen very easily. Going to hotels is going to take a while, so that's going to change for us. Hygiene factors are going to be really very different for us. We will become a little more obsessed towards hygiene. In fact, I always say that jokingly, मेरे घर में तो मेरे बीवी को ऐसा लगता है कि बस वो कोरोना वायरस ऐसे बाजू में आके बैठा हुआ है, any moment it is ready to pounce on me. You know, you need to sanitize more of. She will always be obsessed. हाथ धोए क्या, sanitize किए क्या. We have a dog in the house, so she's also ensuring that he is being given the right vaccines as well. So hygiene has become so very important for us suddenly. If you start going to the offices as is being permitted for the IT industry, you will see people using masks a little more. You will be having your own sanitizer bottles with you. So yes, that has been an important area. Luxuries is going to be lesser now. You will not be accessing to luxuries very often. I can see somebody, I'm muting Nandakishore. Nandish, sorry. So access to luxuries is going to be different. Your screen time is going to increase. which means you might need more exercises for desktop yoga. You will require more exercises for your eyes to perform better. So screen time is definitely going to be better. Some of you were used to having a screen at a higher intensity. You will start using it at a lower intensity in terms of the pain to the eye also. That's going to change. And yes, we might feel that our routines are becoming a little more monotonous because generally the way in which we were functioning, that has changed. So all of this put together, there has been one major change that you can see happening, that what is the impact on your emotional changes because of this. Let us try to understand what has been the emotional changes because of that. So yeah, we are being pushed back to our survival instincts, our fight flight fright response, our ability to go back to that original animal instinct, that is going to suddenly take over us. Simple example, if there are three people trying to buy a bread packet, they're going to rush ahead to find out who is the first person going to buy it so that the other two might not get it, but I want to hit, because people are becoming more self-centric now. In fact, in Punjab, you must have seen that certain people who died of this coronavirus, their families did not want to take their bodies home back. It was out of fear, and it was also out of concern for other people in the family. So people might become a little more paranoid in general about the way things are functioning at the back of the mind. Fighting for mask, fighting for that toilet paper, ensuring that when you go to the stores, government has to tell you, please do not hoard things. ज़्यादा चीजें खरीद के मत रखो, अभी आपकी उसको जरूरत नहीं है. But self-centricity as an overall thing has increased a lot. Uh, our trigger points have gone low. You know, our trigger points, they have gone low. We get snapped very easily. हमें बहुत जल्दी से गुस्सा आ रहा है आजकल. Because we are feeling helpless within ourselves a lot of times. We are getting bothered by people around us. I mean, there is a problem of an exposure of too much to your near and dear ones. Say, for example, you have a working spouse, let us say. So she is also working in the same place, you are also working in the same place. दोनों के कॉल एक साथ में चल रहे हैं, उसका कॉल आपको डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, आपका कॉल उसको डिस्टर्ब कर रहा है, and you get suddenly triggered. There is a child in your family who is looking forward कि पापा मुझे आपका लैपटॉप चाहिए या फोन चाहिए, and you want to work on that because you don't have an extra screen in your house. That is the time you are having a lower trigger. The son might be feeling, what am I going to do? The wife must be feeling, oh, he's just hooked up to the work and he's not doing the work that is required from the family perspective, because I need the family support more at the moment. In fact, organizations have started adapting to these requirements of the family also differently. They have started shifting their calls to different time slots where the person is available to the family and the person is available to the organization also. So these kind of changes are definitely happening. So there has been a shift in the emotional dimension of people, because people seem to be a little more triggered than ever now. And certain people might be overwhelmed by the situation. Everything is very horrible. Everything is very, very difficult to live with. That is one extreme. कुछ लोग हैं जो अभी भी कहते हैं, ऊपर वाला है, सब ठीक कर देगा, हमारे यहाँ कुछ नहीं होगा, इंडिया बिल्कुल बलशाली है, सब ठीक से हो जाएगा. They might be into the denial phase also. So some people are in denial, some people are into overwhelming phase. So that's the kind of emotional shifts people might be having at the moment. So it is important for us to know what are the kind of emotional shifts we might be seeing. So it will be important for us to start making some realistic assessment. So see, the point is that all of us are into a not so good state of mind. But the point is, how can I convert that state of mind into a manageable state of mind? So there are a few things that we need to do. The first thing that I suggest is, let us try and make a realistic self-assessment. Yeah, everybody is talking about horrification everywhere, terribilization everywhere. Industry is going to have this problem. India is going to have that problem. The economy is going to throw in this way. US economy is going to happen in this way. So everybody is talking about a huge downfall, and we are not saying that is not true. It is true. But let us make a realistic self-assessment as to how it is impacting to your sector, to your organization, and then to your team also. Certain teams might be having an impact which is higher, certain teams might be having an impact which is lower. So make a realistic self-assessment first, that what is the impact it is going to have on me? What are the trade-offs that are required? What are the kind of extra work that I might have to be put on? How is it that I might be able to still find out some contribution for my team in spite of the impact that I see? Because the moment you see a realistic self-assessment, subconsciously your mind starts looking for options in that, and this subconscious option finding mechanism will happen better if you have a realistic self-assessment and not get carried away by data points that are coming to you from external sources. So sit across with a pen and paper, maybe talk to your team manager, sit with him, मेरे ऊपर क्या impact है, मेरे ऊपर साथ में क्या क्या फर्क पड़ने वाला है. And personally, if these are the things that are going to happen to you, you will be able to make more informed and aware choices. The moment the choices are informed and aware, your internal acceptance to that choices becomes high, and there's a kind of commitment that you can see for yourself happening. So your acceptance level will go up the moment you have more aware and informed choices, and it is important for you to have that assessment coming in place for that. Important to have and check your financial audits. What are the EMIs that can be postponed? What are the EMIs to which moratorium can be used? Can I renegotiate with my EMI provider about certain tools? Can there be a change in the interest rate? Uh, can I renegotiate on the rent with my landlord? Because everybody is talking about it. I know a few people who are already talking to their people around that what can they do about the rent? Because that's a big expenditure in our budgets. How can we reduce that? And if you look at your income versus expenditure, anticipating that in the next month or two, what is the impact on the income going to look like? What is the income after a couple of months going to look like? And what is the income after a few months going to look like? You can try and make an analysis of that to some extent. Of course, we do not know completely, but try and make an analysis. And we can have a worst case scenario also to be described. Versus what are the expenses that are really required. So maybe for the next few months, schooling expenses will become less, your traveling expenses will be less. Already you are working on a slightly lower budget than ever, in fact, in terms of your household expenses also. That is one thing that is happening differently. You are definitely curbing on luxuries. You're not buying, I mean, Amazon और Myntra पे जाके जो हम लोग general purchasing करते थे, वो definitely नहीं हो रहा होगा. Then hotel industry is something that is at the backseat, and you are not a part of that, so you will also not be visiting hotel. Your visiting to the theaters is going to go down. So there definitely is a fall in certain expenditure side also. So as long as my monthly income and my monthly expenses, they are at least meeting each other, it is okay. Because I might not be able to save for some time from now. Let me accept that. My SIPs might have to be held for some time. For those of you who still have some surplus money, you can continue your saving also, because this might not be the right time for you to withdraw your savings also from wherever they are, because generally all the rates or the way in which you can get that money back will be at a lower side, so you might not want to go ahead with that. So this area will help you to again have a realistic understanding about your financial audits, and when that is something that you are slightly less uncomfortable with, your manageable mindset starts functioning. It is important to sit across with your family members and tell them, we are going through this situation. We might have this challenge, we might be facing this area. We might be having an area which people need to become more aware of. Your spouses, the seniors in your family, and importantly, your children also. Don't worry about the age of the children. Lot of time we think, अरे क्यों बच्चों को फालतू में tension देवे? It is not about giving tension. It is about telling them where are we heading towards together. And trust me, children will surprise you with the kind of responses they will give you in terms of supporting you. Some of them might feel a little annoyed initially, but that could be the initial reaction. After some time, when they become more realistic and when they see things around happening in other families also, maybe they might also still feel the same. So that is also absolutely fine. Very important, check your words. They say that your words, they create actions for you, because the impact that the words we are creating, say for example, are my words talking about extreme horrification? Am I terribilizing a little too much? Nowadays, what has happened is that because of this overdose of information about COVID, we are trying to have so much information sources. First and foremost, cut them off. Just refer to a couple of very authentic sources of information. I say, like, for example, the WHO bulletins that you can see, or the Arogya Setu app, or certain inputs being given authentically from the government, because news can also become very I was told the other day that the government has already decided to have different kind of sectors created, the red zone, the orange zone, and the green zone, and newspapers carried pictures of them. It was all created by the media. Government has not given any kind of an official uh, version of that till now, that this is a green or this is a orange or this is a red zone. So people are still contemplating on based on their own thoughts. Government is still working on it. I think yesterday only they must have started creating some thoughts about what are the things they would like to do post 20th, and which are the areas they would like to work on. And so it is still WIP. So become aware about your sources of information. And the more information you gather, which is more negative by itself, it has an extremely strong impact on your psychology also. You tend to live with it. In fact, I'm now seriously contemplating. In the last few days, the moment you used to open a meeting, सबसे पहले पूछते थे कैसे चल रहा है, आसपास क्या चल रहा है. भाई कोई फर्क नहीं है, जो तेरे लाइफ में चल रहा है वही मेरे लाइफ में चल रहा है. तो नाउ लेट अस गो कम आउट ऑफ दैट कि कोविड का क्या होगा, तुम्हारे यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, हमारे यहाँ पे ये केस मिला, वो मिला. दैट इज नॉट व्हाट शुड बी द स्टार्ट पॉइंट ऑफ योर मीटिंग. They actually put you into a spiral which is by itself very anxiety oriented. Straight away get into important business and maybe start with a very good motivating part which actually can help you to become a little more composed in your interactions also. So important for you to check your words. Are they terribilizing? Because our words, are they giving us facts or are they giving us stories about facts? Because media is bombarding us with stories about the facts and not the facts really. Say for example, shocking news. Now, is it shocking or is it a news that needs to be given attention to? Shocking suddenly gives you a different mental frame. While you should become cautious about the thing that will bring in the right emotional state for you. So it is very important for you to find out what kind of words we are using, what kind of adjectives we are using. Now, by doing all this above, are you actually getting a sense that you're trying to reduce the intensity of your emotional state to a more manageable format? And that is what is more important, because the moment you have a manageable state of mind, option making mechanism tricks up, and it is owned because it is informed and aware choice. This is the beauty of it. Because see, we have been talking that we are into a warlike situation, and if we are into a warlike situation, let us look at the emotional states in which people are into a warlike situation. Are they always in a happy state of mind? Even in the warlike situation, yes, we see our soldiers singing at times. In leisure hours, they sing because they want to draw the energy back. They want to feel a little more connected, and because too much of tension and anxiety can actually make you perform at a lower degree. So you have to have a manageable state of mind. And in a warlike situation, people are very agile, people are very alert, and more importantly, people might not be extremely in a positive state of mind as all of us are being told to be. A positive state of mind, feeling very happy or kuch nahi hoga kind of a thing, can actually lead to complacency at times. And I always claim that positivity is a myth. Although you must be told कि हाँ ये मन में विचार लाओ, वो मन में विचार लाओ, it's a pseudo feeling that will sustain only for some time. It cannot go and go on, because at the back of your mind you are worried about your next month EMI. You are worried about how things are going to look like financially in the next few days. You are worried about what kind of jobs will become more important. Will I be able to sustain in the job to be able to add value to the organization? Will my value organization be able to actually get the clients that they want to? Will we be able to serve in the same old fashion that we started with? Can we at least maintain the same rate, growth rate that we had last year? Will it be a manageable growth rate for us, which will help us to keep our jobs in place? All these questions are there at the back of our mind. So we claiming that we will be in a positive state of mind is making fool of yourself. It is a pseudo feeling. And pseudo feeling is okay to have for some time. It's a technique that you can use occasionally to come out of that deep shit that you might be into. So pseudo feeling will only take you this much out of it, but accepting the situation will require you to know that not always negativity is bad. In fact, negativity will help you to manage it better. Acceptance will become more stronger. So from that perspective, I am saying negative. It's not negative from feeling hopeless about it, but you must be careful about it. I need not be anxious about it. I need to be concerned about it. I might not want to become angry with you, but it is okay to feel irritated about the situation. So this puts you into a more manageable state of mind. And this is very important because denial will not let you focus on the work, and horrification will also not let you focus on the work. So workable alternatives will happen to you only when you can have, slightly more better state of mind. So as I told you, this warlike situation is something which will keep you agile, and that's why it is important for us to have certain ways in which we can start becoming, more motivated in this challenging times also. Important for you to look for early success. The success need not be commercial alone. It could be a great activity that you would have done that is making your entire process look better. It could be an innovation that might happen in this state of mind where you will be suddenly seeing that this can be a good fitment into the entire program that we have. So having this small little early successes is very important for us to feel better. And success could be in a personal form, it could be in a professional form, but you need that energy for succeeding a little more than ever. And that is where you need to narrow down your focus. Let me not look at multiple and many things. Let me narrow down my focus on what is it that I need to contribute more faster. And if I'm able to contribute faster, that sense of contribution is seen. You will see that your dimension of success or your dimension of motivation will start going to the next state. Friends, there are two important areas which I want you to understand, that all of us have got a very lower trigger now, and hence managing your impulse control is going to be one skill which is going to be very, very important for you. I feel there are two skills that are going to be very, very demanded in this COVID arena. One of them is your impulse control or your trigger control. I've already told you, by making a proper audit about it, you will have created uh, aware and informed choices, and the degree to which you can manage it, the trigger, once it comes into the manageable realm, you can go ahead with that. Of course, I'm going to give you a couple of more top tips as to how are you going to have more energy coming to you, so that the trigger is, so having more energy is the antidote to having a low trigger point. So energy actually improves your trigger and resilience also. So I'm going to give you a few top tips on that as well. बट मैनेजिंग योर ट्रिगर इज द फर्स्ट थिंग. आपको आपका ट्रिगर जो है, इम्पल्स जो है, उसको मैनेज करने की परिस्थिति जितने जल्दी आप ला पाओगे, उतने जल्दी आप कोविड सिचुएशन के साथ में अच्छे से डट के काम कर पाओगे. एंड सेकंड इज, let us understand that there is a low trigger point for everybody around us. My team members, my team leader, my manager, my stakeholders, or for that matter, even at times, my people in the family also are at a lower trigger point. It is required for me to feel more empathetic or more emotionally sensitive to people around me. So impulse is one skill set that you need to improve upon, and the second skill set is your emotional sensitivity. As I told you some time back, that you and your spouse, आप एक ही घर में एक ही कमरे में बैठकर काम कर रहे हो, उसका तकलीफ आपको हो रहा है, आपका तकलीफ उसको हो रहा है. अब आप ये कहोगे कि सामने वाले को समझना चाहिए ना, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली इन लाइफ सामने वाला समझे, इस फैक्टर से काम करने में रिमोट कंट्रोल आप परिस्थिति या किसी और के हाथ में देते हो. By giving the remote control to the other person, saying that he must change so that I can change, is a possibility of a victim mindset. That does not happen. In fact, I can spend a couple of hours on trying to make this philosophy very clear scientifically to you, but that's not the time right now for us. So being able to understand what kind of a mental pressure that person would be going through is what empathy is all about. And then making a change in your approach actually accommodates both of us. For example, if your spouse is also on a call, maybe if not on a call that is seemingly less important to you, maybe she's talking to her mother, or maybe your spouse is talking to a good friend for some time so that he or she can emotionally relax while the other person is on an important business call. So can you understand that it is equally important for the other person also to be on the call? Or maybe you can inquire and not comment, Hey, वो बंद करो ना तुम्हारा call. Can't you see I am on an important call? That call is also important for that person. Your son must be feeling so agitated sitting in the same monotonous routine. He wants to talk to his friend right now. And that is only what is going to give him energy. Yes, there has to be a priority, agreed. For that priority to happen, you need to have a good discussion happening around that. And that can happen only when empathy is around. Maybe for the moment, you can shift to a different place, walk out into the balcony and talk. Or maybe just smile and say, can you just go to the other room and talk? This is something important I can do. The intent with which you speak now, that makes a huge impact on the relationship. Your teams are also working virtually. They might also be having their own challenges. किसी को network connectivity का problem है. Somebody might be having a hardware issue. Somebody might be having a pressing issue in the family. He must have had a bad night because electricity was not proper. Suddenly the temperature has gone up and they could not sleep very well. So there are these kind of challenges everybody of us is going through, and empathically trying to understand what your senior management might be thinking about the overall business situation, about the organization, about you, what could be happening to them, because even they might be having severe issues to find out, because more the responsibility, higher the impact of this situation on the lives. So what kind of a state of mind could they be in? What can I do so that I can support them in such a way that they're able to feel more motivated? That is at the heart of empathy. And this emotional sensitivity, this skill is also something that you need to probably, start inculcating in your life. And mind you, it is not about this COVID situation alone. I'm claiming that people who are able to pick up these two skill sets in their lives, once situation starts becoming more favorable for us, when business comes back to normal, these two skill sets will become a personal weapon for you. They will be a part of your arsenal. And these leaders who have these skills will be the people who will be looked after for future leadership. These are the people who will go fast on the career guide, on the career paths, because these two skill sets are foundationally important for for person to perform even pre-COVID or post-COVID. But the sense of urgency that you have today of developing it on a higher scale is something that will help you throughout your life. So be aware that these two skill sets are going to be really very important. If at all there is a moment where we can sit across on a workshop kind of a setup, in fact, that is a topic on which I work with corporates around the world, that how to develop people more emotionally stable. And these two skill sets are at the heart of personal mastery and people mastery also. So whenever there is a time, we will try and look at that. That's a different story. But start finding out ways and means of developing yourself in these areas. That is so very important. Uh, I am going to quickly share a couple of things now, which might help you to start becoming more stronger in terms of your energy management mechanism. And when I say energy management mechanism, this is required for all of us. I always say the better energy you manage, the better motivation you will carry. I am sure all of you must have already started doing some of the other exercises. परसों ही एक बहुत अच्छा व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज आया था कि डियर टमी, सब लोगों को बाहर निकलने के लिए मना किया है, फिर भी तुम क्यों बाहर निकल रही हो? So please understand, yes, your health is going to be a major challenge for yourself in this time. Doing some exercises only by staying inside is possible. This is also the time for creating a fitness regime in your entire family. Maybe you might be having a fitness regime for yourself, but your spouse might not have, your children might not have. This is the time to start doing exercises together, so that you not only enjoy together, but you also get into that habit, because these 40-50 days that you're spending in work from home scenario is going to actually help you to develop certain habits also. If you develop the habit of not working, that is a habit you will carry forward. If you develop a habit of exercising, that is a habit you can carry forward. So exercising is going to be really very important for you to develop. You can see multiple videos on YouTube where body weight exercises is something that you can work upon. So think of them. Good quality sleep is very important. It actually increases your immunity also. So ensure that you sleep for at least 6.5, 7.5 hours, whatever is required for you. Uh, Try and avoid sleeping in your out of your regular patterns, because some of us might be used to sleeping in the afternoon now. That's not a good idea. It should only be a the power nap as we call it. That is the only 15-20 minutes, that is fine, but then try to have a good sleep. And this could also be the time for you to start waking up early, because the more you start waking up early, and if that becomes a part of your habit, you will go to the 5 a.m. club, and people in the 5 a.m. club have been found out to be more successful than others. Find out moments of joy within the family. It's not required that you need to have your wine or your glass of beer only to enjoy in the family together. You might just add a beautifully made soup in the wine glass and say cheers and still have a beautiful, enjoyable, dinner. Have a candlelight dinner with your entire family. These experiences is something that you will retain with yourself. Have those moments of joy. I am a Rotarian. I am sure I know for sure your MD, Mr. Virendra. He also is an extremely powerful social worker. He has been working under the Arts of Living platform for so many years now, and he has been contributing selflessly in that area. The joy of giving is something which is very, very beautiful. And being a Rotarian myself, I have been a party for being uh, slightly being able to serve the people who need it more. And in these times, it actually gives you a lot of inner satisfaction, and that satisfaction can actually add your energy to the next level, because you feel very happy when you are into the act of compassion and altruism both. Make a gratitude log. You must have heard different stories on WhatsApp videos around it, but one of the things that work very powerfully is that you just make a log and keep on adding what are you thankful for on every single day. Nikrushta vastu utkrishta drishti is something that you can learn from this. And the more gratitude you feel, the lesser ego you have, and the lesser ego you have, the more higher energy of happiness you feel within yourself, and that energy actually adds to the good chemicals that you secrete during this process. So gratitude log is a big one. Keep on adding one or two items to it every single day. 30 days down the line, you'll be surprised by the number of things in life you are happy for. And then your habit of feeling unnecessary, cribbing for things, that will vanish in some time. Ask your children to do it. This is the most important thing you can give them to do. Think of 5 people in your friend circle who have a player mentality. People who really want to fight back, people who adapt to situations and come up with important options very fast. Think about them and create a group of at least talking to them once in a 3 or 4 days time. Because when we end up talking to too much of negative people around us or too much of problem centric people around us, your energy generally goes down. I can draw immense amount of energy from these kind of people. So I have made my list of 10 people, one or the other person I keep on talking every single day for 15-20 minutes, and that is so very motivating. So this 5 people group can become a good game changer for you, and you will end up learning good tools and techniques from them. Learn new skills. This is the time for you to learn new skills. You have a lot of these online courses that are available. I did not tell you about it. And any kind of a new skill that you can learn in this particular dimension, in this particular time, can carry forward to you for longer periods of life also, and they're going to be remaining with you forever. Reason being, you definitely have some extra time with you nowadays. Your time of commuting, your time of going and playing around, your time of passing time with your friends alone, all of that is cut. Of course, you will have a couple of extra hours to work because you're working from home. I'm sure some of you might be facing that. But this also is the time for you to hone your new skill sets. And when you get a new certification completed after that, let's say for example, from Coursera, you got a certified da in XYZ ABC. It feels good high. Your dopamine rush is very high in that area. Your dopamine rush being very high, you can feel very, very good about it. This good chemical secretion actually helps you in that dimension. So manage that part of your life. And of course, if required, seek professional help. In India, there is generally a sense that people who are, looking forward for having professional counseling, they have some mental problem. Not true. Deepika Padukone has been advertising about talking to professionals so many days back. Government of India also has opened up a lot of websites where you can actually go and talk to people for your mental health challenges. And all of us have our challenges. As we speak, my son, he's already seeing a therapist right now. Although he knows I can be the person in the family, but he feels no, it's good for me to talk to a professional outside of my family rather than my father himself. Because yeah, I do some little bit of coaching also. I've been coaching a few senior leaders at the moment, trying to take them to the next level of leadership. Certain people I coached back, they went on to become CEOs and they went on to become people in the higher degree of their lives. So this could be useful for some of us who want some kind of professional support required. Telephonically, a lot of people are available nowadays. You can find out from a host of different people who charge you on a different per hour basis, and you can seek some help if required. If somebody in your family requires it, find out. It's absolutely okay to have a family counselor also. These concepts are very important. A lot of schools nowadays are having counselors for your children also. So look forward for them as well. That will be so very important for you to look at. So these are certain ways in which you can pick up uh, certain energy management tools which can help you to keep motivated. And the more you are feeling motivated, the less you will start feeling uncertain, and the more you will be able to manage your certainty and your confidence level in the best of the time. So this is something that I wanted to share with you, friends. Hope you will find this useful. Post this webinar, I'm going to share one small Google form with Priyanka, and I'll ask her to send that form to your team so that I can receive your feedbacks also, which will help us to become better than what we are. Uh, and I'm looking forward for certain questions you might want to ask. So, Anuja, you can decide to unmute people if you feel so. And we can have some questions coming into the chat box also if required. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And yeah, over to you all to have certain questions given to me. In the meanwhile, in case you want to connect with us, these are our address and our numbers. You can take a click of that if you want. But yeah, let us have some more questions coming up in the meanwhile. Anuja, please, you can ask people to ask questions if at all.
Yeah. Hello, please ask the questions in the question answers or chat. Don't give your
Yeah, use the
questions in
chat.
chat.
Use the chat. You can open your mute also if you want and talk and directly ask a question if that is required. हम हंस के हमेशा यही कहते थे कि दो ही चीजों में क्वेश्चन नहीं आते, एक तो सब समझ गया करके सवाल नहीं आता है, और एक तो कुछ नहीं समझा करके सवाल नहीं आता है. So it's important for you to find out what is it that you will like to ask me, if at all there is any question for you. Okay, how to face corporate challenges post this pandemic in terms of target? Yeah, it's a good question, Subrat. And see, I told you earlier that the degree of uncertainty around everything is going to be very, very high. Corporates are also going to make a lot of mistakes in terms of what is going to work right and what is not going to work right for them. And this is where a lot of to and fro might happen. Say, for example, today we decide that we need to have a target XYZ to be set for us based on what we feel. And when you actually go back to the market and when you talk to your clients or your stakeholders, you suddenly realize that there is a different reality that seems to be coming. And our organization might not be completely aware about it. Of course, as an organization, being in touch to the lowest level of the market is going to be the most important thing for us to do now, which will give you more realistic feedback about what the market looks like. So uncertainty is something that all of us are going to deal with. There is going to be a lot of to and fro. Tomorrow Subrat goes and he says that this is your manager says that this is what is required to be given to the market. You go to the market and things are completely different. You're going to fight, you're going to find out, you're going to check what else could be different. However, you might suddenly realize that doesn't seem to be working. You come back and you might have to reset back. And if you reset back, again there's going to be a challenging conversation. यार पहले तो ये सोचा था, अभी वापस ये क्यों change किया है? या the company can start thinking, oh, we need to change this. Suddenly a feature of a product could be added which was non-existent for ages together, and you need to go and explain that feature now. So these kind of things are going to actually increase, and that is where your empathy and emotional self-control. These are going to be very, very important stage for you to be in. So being more agile and being more able to have going into this chaotic situation and again and again and coming out of it is going to be the call of the time. And people who are able to do it, these are the only people who might be able to get some of it. Some of it. Yes, Subrat? Okay. How to keep high integrity among team members during this time? That's a good question. The only way integrity can be very, very high is to have authentic communication with your team members. Don't just give them chikni chupdi baate. The antidote to integrity is huge amount of trust being developed between every single person. If you're talking about salary cuts, display that in terms of your lifestyle and in terms of the challenges you might be going through. Somebody talks about a salary cut and you see your leader or your manager going out for a vacation in a 5-star hotel after some time and posting the photo on Instagram. You are not walking the talk. Once you walk the talk, integrity will go to the next level. Think about it in your family also. Okay, you are asking your children to stay home and you decide to go out for a quick walk with your friends, or you go out to meet your friend in a bazaar, and then you sit across for a half an hour, 1 hour talking to each other. Why your children will also start feeling the same. So integrity ke liye, walking the talk and trust is really very important. So I hope I have answered that also. Let me look at some more questions that are coming there. How can one acquire cross-selling skills? Okay. Okay, now I always say in my sales training that the first and most important thing for you to sell is to know your products well. So foundationally, if your product knowledge about your organization is not so high, and I know that you have been working on the last week on trying to improve your product knowledge in general, that is one. So having an information about your product is one important thing. Second, when you go to a client, are you going with a very narrowed focus, which is also important to ensure that you make your immediate sale. But once you are into the process of sale, I always tell, that the other person should not feel that you are selling him. You should do something so that he can own the buying process and he should feel that I am buying it. This process is very important in any kind of sales equation. And in this process, when you are into the process of asking the right questions to your client, not getting hijacked by the thought कि अरे भाई ये अगर नहीं खरीदेगा तो क्या होगा, and looking for opportunities or option is a great way of knowing what are the things that I can further support to my client. And that is probably the first step of ensuring that you can cross sell. Second, if you feel that there is an area, telling it to my team member who is from another department should be one of the finest equation you can build as trust between each other. Today, when you help somebody in your network, he is the person next time who is going to say, I'm going to help you to the next possible time. So cross-selling ke liye, supporting each other in cross-functional department also is very, very important. So I hope these two tips are enough for you to start thinking about how cross-selling can be more useful. In fact, we could have done multiple role plays on that if the time was right. But then for that, I need to also be equipped with a few things about your product and the kind of clientele we work with. And then we could have ensured that we could have had more interactive and useful dimension from the sales perspective. How can we keep more discipline in the team? Okay. I think let us give them some time. Let us give them some time. They will show the discipline back. They are fighting and juggling for their own challenges. And as I told you, the flicker point is a little low. That will help them. Secondly, once they settle down, we have to start bringing structure to our own days also. What is the time I'm going to spend for myself? What is the time I'm going to spend for my home? What is the time I'm going to spend on web calls, on client meetings? All of that is a part of creating a structure around your discipline foundations. And once people start seeing some kind of a success happening by maintaining this, then people are more motivated to start becoming more disciplined also. So telling that discipline as a skill has to start happening. Yes, there are tools and techniques, Like for example, using the diaries or using your calendars. And in fact, you are already dealing in so many different tools that can help people to become better in terms of managing themselves. So those tools and techniques is something which is outside of the techniques, but the inner state of mind is more about um, feeling the urgency and ensuring that I am able to achieve, because that is where your KPIs become very important. Once I know that this is what I need to get at the end of the day, and with lesser interaction now, the dashboard for me for my performances are going to be very very high. And once the dashboards are clear, then being able to have that more goal oriented discussions can help us to have more discipline being invited. And this is where I call that having small coaching conversations between managers and team members is very very important. Performance conversations, informal performance conversations, actually breed in a lot of discipline. This has been one area where I've worked into the industry for a lot of time, and globally it has been found out that 35% of your performances can go high by having informal performance conversation. But there is a way. It is not by the telling conversation, it is by a different kind of conversation that we call as the coaching kind of conversation, which all of us need to learn as a technique and tool. I do not know, Subrat, how will the clients be giving you meetings or not, because even their calendars are going to be limited and they will have multiple things to take care of. So yes, there is going to be a change for sure, and trying to find out a time for your client's calendar is going to be really, really very important for you to work on. So I do foresee that those changes are going to happen, and clients will start giving time only when you feel that it is really, really important for them to give that time. Now they will become very picky and choosy about it. Uh, Ashok, I do not know at this moment from the trigger management perspective what are the things that I can do. But yes, whatever I have told you in terms of your energy management is going to be your first step for that. And making a realistic self assessment and audit will give you more awareness about your state. I started with that particular statement by Madam Curie, that I need to understand so that I can fear less. The moment I understand more, the fear can start going less. So uh, technically becoming more aware about my states, or becoming more aware about what I'm doing, is the first thing that we can do in terms of our trigger management. uh, I might not be the right person, Ravi, about how is uh, the situation in advertising media going to look like. But yes, spendings are going to be lesser on media. More focused media spending will definitely happen, where capital spending is going to be a big thing that is going to take a setback. I am aware about it. But if there is something that can really bring me into the right eyeballs faster, uh, I was listening to a few of these Copgenie webinars last week, and people have been talking about having more focused reach that is going to help. And by use of AI, some of the things are going to happen. Rajesh, I trust me, I'm not dodging the question, but I myself do not know that when you say what do you exactly mean by your economic situation. Economic situation, yes, it is not going to be the same. How fast we will come back is completely dependent on how our country as a whole performs to this COVID situation. Already people are talking about recessions being as much bad than what we had in 2007-8. So yes, what the government comes in as a dimension to help us. So things are not going to be easy, that's for sure. We need to become prepared for a slightly longer war in terms of becoming economically very very strong again. It's going to be a time. So savings is going to be the key. Lessening of expenses is going to be the key. At an organizational level, also people are going to postpone decisions that might that can be postponed easily, which is not a very dire need for the organization to sustain at the moment. So these kind of things we are already seeing that. So maybe that is something which we can look forward for. Uh, how to explore the strength of the team members which was untapped during regular work pressure. I think there are a lot of questions coming, and we are already moving towards 11 o'clock. We are passing much ahead of the schedule. Uh, 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 so we still have a couple of minutes. I'll go on that. Yeah, exploring the strength of the team. First and foremost, is important for you to assess what the strength of the team could look like. So there are technical assessments available for finding out strengths of people. But in case you feel that you already have a team member with a particular strength, it will be important for you to ask the team member that what do you think in this current situation, which are the areas where you can contribute more of, and then a dialogue between HR and the team member and yourself can help you that is there a fitment where you can find out, because yes, focusing of work and decentralization of work is going to happen more of. So there could be a reskilling of skill sets that you could be seeing happening also. So dialogue to me is the first step that has happened, and more importantly, how is that particular strength in fitment to the immediate short term that you want to achieve out of that person is more important for you to know, and then make that person realize that this is where you can add value. Fire top points for high morale. Okay, Kamal. Mm, one, I always feel have more communication and more authentic communication. Two, display empathy in trying to understand what their challenges are. Three, uh, do not give them unnecessary rosy pictures. They can backfire. Four, is there any way in which you, your team, or your organization can assist them in certain dimensions that they require, because they have a life outside of the organization also? How good or bad that organization, that part of his life is also going to have a strong impact on his organizational performance. And five, have some group activities, have some group exercises where all of you can start, talking more authentically to each other, because this distancing, people have been talking about social distancing and it is very important, but you need more emotional closeness nowadays, and that is where that sensitivity part that I talked of again comes in picture. So I hope this will become important for you. I do not know, Subrat. Will people be able to feel that same nationalist or concern for nature and concern for the environment in the same way which we are feeling right now? I think if we are able to learn out of this and maintain some part in our lives, this is the first and important thing we can serve to the environment and our society and our nation at large. But I do not know. I'm hopeful about it. But yes, people memory is very short-lived, and in case they tend not to do it, because we can see already China, we can see the relapses happening again. So yeah, I think it's a good intent to have, and the more we are able to do it, better it is for the humanity. But my personal take is that learned and sensitive people like you and me might be able to carry forward certain things in life. For example, I'm seriously thinking about cutting down my wardrobe and maintaining only 4 pair of jeans and some t-shirts and shirts only, and let go of most of my wardrobe in future, so that I start living on lesser things for myself. That is something which a gentleman called architect Berry used to do it long back from Kolhapur. So what are the things that are really required? I need to look at them. What are the things I really don't require? Can I look at for certain spending which is not required? It's not only a saving for me, but it's a gross national saving also. So these kind of things will make sense. I agree with you. How your subconscious mind work? Oh well, it works in the same fashion that it was working earlier. Only things you will start becoming more aware about it because you are more in attunement to your thoughts. So yeah, subconscious mind will have, as I told you, you need to check what kind of words you're using, and that is where the impact of the subconscious mind is coming from. If the words are a little more rational, you are able to handle it better. But if the words are a little more stronger, it might be having a challenge. I do not know. So for you to activate your subconscious mind in a better way, meditation has been found out to be very powerful. Think about it. That could be useful for you for sure. But awareness is something that will make you aware about what is going inside you. So that audit part is really very important. That self-assessment part is really very important for you to look at. So thank you for having these multiple questions, friends. I hope this interaction has been useful for you. I am going to share with you the I'm going to share with you the feedback form. Please ensure that you have the feedback forms filled up and shared back with me. There are some more questions coming. Okay, okay, that's thank you very much. I will be sending across a link for the presentation to you. from my LinkedIn profile. You can download the slides if you want. So I'll send it across to Priyanka, and she'll share it amongst the group. You can just go to the LinkedIn slide share, and you can get the slides for yourself in case you need. So thanks Virender, thanks Priyanka, and thanks Anuja for having
Yes.
all of this organized. Have a good time. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for such a wonderful and innovative and informative session. Thanks a lot, sir, on behalf of Vritti. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye bye.